What's the biggest red flag when meeting new people? They don't really listen to you or pay attention to what you're talking about, but expect you to be totally engaged with whatever they say and act put out if you aren't. When they try to one-up you in everything you say. When they're judgmental and critical of others, but never of themselves. They don't listen to what you say and respond accordingly. They only wait for you to stop talking so they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. When they start talking about the tons of money I am going to be making with their new business venture and selling knives door to door. Hi. My name is __, and I'm an asshole. Literally how the shop manager introduced himself to everyone. Like it's an excuse. I've seen a lot of answers along the lines of when they say negative things about others, which I agree with BTW. But for me a huge red flag is when someone can't let someone else receive praise or be the center of attention. I've met people in the past who have shown small signs of jealousy when I've praised mutual friends, siblings, strangers, etc. And in each case it was indicative of bigger jealousy and self-esteem issues that led to some messed up stuff. Asking me to PM them my ankle. Massive red flag. When you barely know them and they act like your best friend. Then later ask to borrow money. When the first thing they tell you about themselves is all the hardship and unfairness in their lives. Edit. Wow. First silver. Thanks all. If they can't take no for an answer. Reading through these comments made me realize I'm an asshole. Edit. It's like, I've been told I'm an asshole by my very best friends constantly at one point of time and I just shrugged it off thinking I'm way too charismatic for them to handle. Subtle signs that they aren't remotely interested in you. And the only way you two are together is maybe because an obligation, favor. People change their tune often when they have to conceal their feelings of disdain for someone. Everyone here talking about slightly negative people. But Op asked for the biggest red flag. So I'm gonna go with having a swastika scar on their forehead. People think I'm a bitch. But I'm really just blunt and tell the truth. They can't handle that. Nah. Chances are you're just a bitch. Too much information too quickly. People who divulge too much about themselves from the offset generally have poor boundary issues. I speak from experience. I am a recovering poor boundary haver. You immediately start hearing from them about all the time other people have hurt them, betrayed them, or otherwise been assholes to them. If everyone you encounter is an asshole, chances are, you're the asshole. Belittling they're so in front of people but insisting it's a joke every time. Sadly in this situation I used to be the belittled so. Sorry. I have no filter. Oh. So you're an asshole? No thanks. Edit. Ah. Fuck. I gotta stop commenting on askReddit posts and then forgetting about it. I log back into y'all blowing up my inbox and have a mini heart attack. When they only talk about themselves. When they say they like poopy. Let's be honest. We often see these red flags but deliberately push on to form a relationship. If the relationship goes bust, we critique ourselves for not heeding the warning signs. This is an unjust self-criticism. More than 2 tattooed teardrops. I have only ever met 2 men, that I'm aware of, who lied to me about their ages when we met. Both of these men turned out to be extremely unpleasant and abusive people. I dated one of them and knew the GF of the other one. I think people who lie easily even over trivial things tend to have very complex psychological problems and are best steered clear of. When they bring up topics out of nowhere just so they can spout their opinions and not actually have a conversation. It's very telling about their personality. When they shake your hand way too fucking hard. Like WTF you psycho. I still remember you Ben you whack job. How they treat waiters, waitress, cashiers, janitors, bus drivers and everyone in the service industry. A coworker friend of mine left a bunch of trash at the cinema after we finished watching a movie. I angrily pick up his trash, chased him and told him to throw it away at the bin 3 meters outside of the cinema. And he replied, "Dude, why are you so Japanese? I did graduated from Japan, I'm just letting the janitors doing their job." No dude. It's not being Japanese. It's being having manners. Couldn't look at him the same way again ever since. If they are unaware of people around them in a social sense. Like, they don't thank service staff or stand in the middle of crowded walkways and not move out of the way of others. Congratulations, you have made friends with a toddler. This is not the biggest of red flags. Just ones that have recently pissed me off. I'm starting a communist revolution. To me, that's a big red flag. One of my bosses once told me that whenever you start a new job, position, UTS, usually the first person who tries really hard to be your friend is the problem child of the office. They'll usually start telling you of people to avoid as well. I found this very, very useful. When you mention something you enjoy and they immediately put it down. I enjoy going on photography walks around cities. That sounds really st. Okay, well, kindly get lost, Mr. Mrs. Stranger. When they constantly put down other people's opinions, even in done in a nice way and only their way of thinking is right. They always go, yeah but. Or actually I think. Usually when people speak of having a lot of people in their life that somehow turned on them and now they don't speak anymore. I remember one old coworker would become super fast friends with someone. Then within weeks, yeah, we don't really talk anymore once. Ill accept. Hell, even twice. But when it's 4 to 5 times over. Guess what? It's not everyone else. People that are not considerate with your time. Being 5 minutes late every so often isn't a big deal. But when people are consistently 20 minutes late and make people wait. Say for a dinner. If you want, let you get 2 words in before interrupting anything you say. Everyone has bad traits and good traits. Please nobody read this Reddit thread and start labeling your friends as assholes. Cutting people out for having these traits. Get an ego boner for not doing some of these things. For every bad trait you see in a good friend, you'll see like 10 good traits. For every good trait you see in a bad friend, you'll see like 10 bad traits. And don't forget that you can have flaws as well. Edit. And as Pepor Potts pointed out, this goes the other way too. Don't be too critical on yourself. I can assure you that anyone could name a myriad of good traits for every possible red flag that you might have. If they nitpick your appearance or do a give and take. I just talked to a girl from a dating app who did that. And after I called her out for being very rude, she doubled down. It's a red flag for emotional abuse emo. I'm not a racist. But I'm an alpha type. AKA I'm a self-centered asshole who does know how or won't learn to behave in public. They're carrying a big cross and wearing a white hood. I usually test my friends to see if they're worthy of my friendship. Former friend. She told my GF she was testing her one day and now she's super confused as to why it didn't go over so well. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Such a fucking narcissist thing to say. If they don't have any empathy at all. When they ask how I have fun at parties if I'm not drinking at them. Their word choice. People who refer to women as bitches. Men as dicks. Or anyone by a derogatory term pertaining to them. If we're already friends and they use it jokingly, not meaningfully. That's different. But people complaining about my bitch of an ex are almost always people I don't want to hang out with. When they have no problem dishing about others. Especially friends. In a hateful way. Not only do I not want to hear what you have to say. But now I don't trust you. They try to project their voice as loudly as possible to overplay their actual feebleness, but then the capillaries in their nose burst from the effort and they grin at you through rivulets of blood seeping into the interstices between their perfectly bleached teeth. Of course. Blood is an emetic, so they will retch. And eventually vomit out a perfectly formed sausage on the floor before you. It's a condom filled with cocaine. Turns out they're a drug mule. Everybody needs to make a living. But I'm wary of such people. A few red flags for me are. They flake or cancel plans at the last minute constantly without reason. They rant about their personal problems and don't talk to you at all about common interests. They never have money on them but ask you to take them around to places. A people user. They start drama such as fights with you or others. Toxic. When emergency situations happen, they're nowhere to be found or heard from. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.